Okay, guys, we are still in packet one, which is unit 8. Okay, and I think we're already on week 4 of e-learning. So we're moving right along. We are on page 18 today. Okay, and we are going to be talking about lesson 8.2, which is volume of a cone. Okay, volume of a cone. And before we get into volume of a cone, and that doesn't look much like an E, does it? We're going to review the general formula for the volume of a pyramid. Okay, the volume of a pyramid is 1/3. Let's see if I can write this: length times width times height. Okay, so if you have a pyramid, it's going to be 1/3 the length times the width times the height. And why is that? It's because it's 1/3 of a rectangular prism. Okay, so if you were to see, and I don't think I'm going to be able to draw this very well, but if we had a rectangular prism like this, then we have a triangle, and it's actually going to be, if you had a pyramid, it's actually 1/3 of that rectangular prism. Okay, so if we just did one here, we'd have a pyramid, volume equals 1/3 length times width times height. We'd be 1/3. Our length is 10. Our width is 8. Our height is 7. Okay, and then we'd have, let's see, a third of, let's just do this. We'd have 10 times 8 times 7, and then times 1/3, or divided by 3, same thing. We'd get volume equals 186.67, or you could say 186.67 and 2/3, and that's inches cubed. Okay, so now, and that was just talking about pyramid. So now if we go down to how is a cone related to a pyramid, well, they're both 3D shapes. Okay, they both have a base. They both have a vertex. And when you talk about a vertex, that's the vertex right there. Okay, there's your vertex. It's right at the tip, the top point. And they both have lateral sides, which we talked about the other day. Okay, but if we're talking about strictly a pyramid, okay, the base is not, okay, that's not a circle. Okay, base is not a circle. And that's one thing we're going to say. And the other is that lateral sides, you look at those lateral sides, are triangles. Okay, so that's a pyramid. Now getting into cones, which is what we're actually dealing with today, you can see that the base is a circle. Okay, and the lateral side here, if you were to open that up, I'm just going to say a semicircle. Okay, so there's the difference between the cone and the pyramid. Okay, let's go ahead and let's flip the page. Okay, we're on page 19 now. Page 19, in case any of you are having a hard time seeing. Sorry about that. Okay, we are going to be doing how is a cone related to a cylinder. We did a cylinder last week. Okay, well, the same things they have in common are that they're both 3D, and they both have a circle as a base. Okay, that's what we have in common. Okay, on the other hand, if we're just talking about a cylinder that we did last week, okay, the lateral sides, if we unfold those, the lateral sides form a rectangle. Okay, that's a cylinder. On the other hand, if we're talking about our new shape, which is a cone, there's a vertex. Okay, that tip at the top, that little point at the top. We have that the lateral side, because there's really only one lateral side in the cone, the lateral side is kind of a semicircle. And if I had one, I'd unwrap it for you so you could see, but I don't have one at home. Okay, and those are the similarities and then the differences. Okay, so the formula for the volume of a cone, this is you have to memorize. Okay, and we're going to have volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times height. Okay, and when we're talking about the height, we're talking about this height that's dropped down from the vertex. Okay, that's the height we're talking about. This right here is the slant height. Okay, the slant height, and that's not the one we're using. We're using the straight drop down height, okay? Let's go ahead and let's flip the page. We are now on page 20, okay? Sorry, I have a dog that's down here that's bugging me at my feet. Okay, radius is 6 centimeters. The height is 15 centimeters. You can see the drop down here, and they ask us for the volume. I would strongly recommend that you write the volume formula each time. 1/3 pi r squared times height. That's the volume of a cone, okay? So we are going to do volume equals 1/3 times pi. My radius was 6, so we have a 6 squared times my height, which is 15. Okay, you can use your calculator. We got a 36 because 6 squared is 36. So 36 times 15 times 1 divided by 3. We're going to get 180. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. If you're going to take it times 1/3, you need to put that 1/3 in parentheses. Multiplying something by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. You can also do it that way. Okay, and we're going to get volume equals 180 pi, and that's centimeters cubed, and we can't go any further, so that's my exact answer. Okay, there's my exact. For my approx, volume equals approximately, I'm going to type in 180 times pi, that's second, and that's this little button right here. Okay, if you can see, it's right below the clear. And we get, let's round to the 100th spot, it says. So we're going to get volume equals approximately 565.49, and that's centimeters cubed. Okay, so there are my two answers. And it's really not that difficult. The hardest part is just making sure we have that formula memorized. Let's skip down to C, okay? Find the volume of a cone that has a height of 120 millimeters and a radius of 45. So volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times height. We're going to do 1/3 times pi. It said my radius was 45. So 45 squared times my height, which is 120. Okay, we're going to get a big number here, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 45 squared, okay, times 120. Ooh, we got a really big number. And then we're going to either take it times 1/3, which is the same as dividing by 3. So times parenthesis 1 divided by 3. And I get 81,000. So my volume, oopsie, it would help if you could see, wouldn't it? 81,000 pi. And that's millimeters cubed. There's my exact. Okay, very good. Then if we need my approx, okay, volume equals, make sure you use your squigglies for your approximate sign. We're going to take 81,000 times pi, and we get, let's see, 254,469.00, so we'll leave it at that, and that's millimeters cubed because it said the 100th spot. Okay, this is not that bad, really, guys. It's just a matter of plugging into your calculator and knowing how to use it appropriately. If we flip to page 21, we're going to do a few more examples. Okay, we're going to look at, let's see, this is page 21. Okay, and we are down here on 2A. It says here that they give us the radius. So the R is 9 feet, and my volume, oh, here we give volume is 956 feet cubed. Okay, 956 feet cubed. So remember my formula. Volume equals 1/3 pi r squared h. This is going to get a little tricky. Okay, they're asking us to find the missing height. So that's this right here. So we're going to fill in everything else we know. We've got 956 equals 1/3 pi. My radius is 9, so 9 squared times height. And now, just circle this here with a different color. This is what I'm solving for, okay? So let's go ahead and do a little math. We've got 956 equals 9 squared is 81. I'm just going to go ahead and do 81/3. That's the same thing, okay? 9 squared times 1/3 is the same as 81/3 pi times height, okay? Now, 81/3 is, a nice even number. 956 equals 27 pi times height, okay? And we have to get that h by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 27 pi. And I get my exact answer. It looks kind of funny, but it's right. Volume equals 956 over 27 pi. The pi is in the denominator, and that is, I put volume. I hope you guys caught me. That's height, not volume. That's height is 926 over 27 pi feet. And my approximate is going to be volume equals approximately. Okay, I'm going to take my calculator. I'm almost dead here on my calculator. 956 divided by, make sure you put that 27 pi in parentheses, 27 pi, and we should get 11.27, it looks like. So I did it again. I keep putting volume. Its height equals approximately 11.27 feet. Okay, and there's my answer for that problem right there. Okay, let's do just one more here on this page. Let's go down to 2C. Find the height of a cone with a radius of 2.5 meters and a volume of 19.625 yards cubed. Okay, so volume equals 1/3 pi r squared height. I'm going to plug in what I know, and I know my volume is 19.625. 1/3 pi. My radius is 2.5 squared, and we don't know our height. That's what we're solving for. Okay, there's my height. So I've got, and now it's just a matter of doing the math. 19.625 equals 1/3. 2.5 squared is 6.25 pi. Okay, times your height. Now I'm going to go ahead, and you could do this a couple different ways. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply the entire thing by 3 to cancel out that denominator. Okay, so times 3, and watch what happens. This is, let's see, 19.625 times 3, 58.875. 58.875 equals that 1/3 cancels out. So I'm left with 6.25 pi h, okay? And I can go ahead and I can divide by 6.25 pi. And I get, let's see, h equals 58.875 over 6.25. Pi is in the denominator. It looks like that's going to be yards. Let's just make sure that doesn't divide down. 58.875 divided by 6.25. Now you could, if you wanted, you could put 9.42 over pi. That would be okay if you wanted. Okay? And then we got h equals approximately, and if you type that into your calculator, 58.875 divided by 6.25 pi, you get approximately 2.99, which is approximately 3 yards. Okay, so there's my exact, and there's my approx. Okay. And if you put that in your calculator, you'd still get approximately 3 yards. Okay. Let's flip. Let's see, we're almost at the end here. I think we are going to go to page 25. Okay, we're on page 25. We're going to do one last problem and then we're done. Okay. Number 5, right here. The volume of a cone with a 30 millimeter radius is 9,420 cubic millimeters. What is the height of the cone? Okay, so remember, volume equals 1/3 pi r squared height. Okay, you're going to plug everything in. 9,420 equals 1/3 pi times 30 squared times height. Okay, we get 9,420 equals 30 squared is 900. And put that over 3. And that is pi h. Okay, I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to do? 900 divided by 3 is just going to be 300. So 9,420 equals 300 pi h. And then my last step here is going to be to divide everything by 300 pi. Okay, and we get 9420 over 300 pi. H equals, and you can see that they're both divisible by 10, so that's going to knock off a 0. So H equals 942 over 30 pi. Okay, that's one step. I can see that they're both divisible by 2. I divide top and bottom by 2. I'm going to get H equals 471 over 15 pi. Make sure you leave that pi in the denominator, and there's my exact. Okay, and that is going to be millimeters. Okay, so there's my exact. And my approx is going to be H equals approximately. We've got 471 divided by, let's see, parentheses, 15 pi. And we should get 9.99. Let's see, yep. H equals approximately 9.99 millimeters. And there's my approx. Okay, and I think that's right at the 16-minute mark. That's plenty for today.